and renowned life coach, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And Dr. Bryant is also known as Coach B on Teen Moms. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Marci. Thank you for having me, and good morning.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you and catch up about the show and why this is so important, the difference that you are making. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, the reason you're a part of Teen Moms. I found that you yourself were raised by teenage parents. Is that why this is so important for you?
Marci, I love that you said that because that is a big part of why, the empathy and the compassion and the love that I have for these teen moms and the teen dads that are on the show is because
Mhm.
it's not just something that, I went to school for. And I've been doing this I've been in the field of therapy and coaching for 16 years. It's something that hits home and it's something I can relate to. And I can understand, what it feels like in both shoes, being the kiddo with the
Yeah.
teenage parents and growing up with my parents. My mom was 16, my dad was 17 having me, and they planned me, fortunately, but unfortunately, they were too young to really know and have insight on how to parent and how to raise me. And so growing up with them, because we're only 16 years apart, it
Yeah.
is a very beautiful, but at times very both trying to figure out type of journey. And that's what makes it beautiful. And the teen moms have that same experience with their kids where they're both trying to figure it out. And on the show from season one, especially season two, you get to see them really trying to figure out with the tools that I give them, what is
Yeah.
not parenting like, but who am I? Who am I off camera?
Yeah.
Who am I as a mother?
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about the show. Like, what really is the message of the show?
Love that too. So the intent and the message of the show is, for season two, we are working on the intergenerational traumas. And so that's why we brought the moms of the teen moms on the show for season two. Season one was just the moms. And what that is, the message is we're looking at how trauma travels, right?
Hmm.
Dysfunction becomes pathologies from mothers down to daughters. And if it's not interrupted and it's not broken, you get the same dysfunctional cycle. And all it does is continue. And it's this toxic seed that continues to be planted and grow. And then, when the fruit comes, everything's rotten. And so you have no harvest. All you have is more dysfunction of a rotten fruit. And these fruits looking at each other, pointing the finger saying, hey, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. You should have known better. And really, no one should have known better because they didn't have the insight. They did not have the tools. And so at that point, you have the blind leading the blind. And so the message of the show is to face your problems, face your fears, look at the traumas, stop pointing the finger, check out the intergenerational dysfunctions that have been going on, figure out the root of where they stem from so that we can better the harvest of the fruit. I want everyone who watches this show, which is
Yeah.
happy, it's beautiful, Marci, to say, hey, wait a minute, that's me.
Yeah.
That's who
It's
I
exactly right. The generational cycles. I mean, this is what we're faced with. So many of us are. And how do we get through that? And living in that victim mentality, like you're talking about, pointing the finger at somebody else. So let's talk about, the challenges that you have on the show.
So, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to challenges. I I want to say the biggest one and that we came into awareness of was last season was the sense of self. These
Mm.
beautiful girls have no sense of self. What does that mean? They know themselves as a TV identity, okay, and a TV personality. And so when they're off of TV, the narrative that they've created, the storyline on TV, whether it be a better one than the dysfunction they're really experiencing in their real life, or a worse one, they're living out that narrative. And so they
Mm.
have lost a sense of who am I as a mother? Who am I as a young woman? What are my aspirations? What do I want to be outside of being a teen mom, right? And then two,
Right.
breaking the stereotypes that come with the title of teen mom, because you're seen as
Mm.
a teen mom personality, you're associated with a teen mom name and brand. And so for them, it was a lot of breaking down the barriers of of why their toxicity comes up and externalizes, and they have no awareness of it, because all of who they are that they don't have a sense of is coming up. And they're going, well, this is just who I am, or well, I'm just angry, so I should act out like this. And there was so much awareness that was implemented the first season. And there was a little resistance at the beginning because they were like, who in the hell is this Coach B, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
does she know? And literally within maybe the second day of filming together, they were requesting, I want to see Coach B. I want to get in the seat. And they were like, I can't wait to see what awareness comes and what tools I get. And it's been really, really beautiful. And one more thing, another issue that we had, not issue, but some of the stuff we work through are, they're extremely triggered, right? Trauma based will bring up a lot of triggers. And when you don't know what your triggers are, you're firing off all the time. And it's easy for you just to go. And them coming in contact and identifying, right, what their triggers are, and me giving them tools saying, hey, wait a minute, when you are experiencing this trigger, remind yourself that that's the little girl in you who was pregnant at 14, pregnant at 16, who had a lot to prove, who didn't have their mother in their life, who had a mother who was experiencing addiction, who had abandonment issues, who was neglected. And she's showing up. And let me tell you something about that little girl. She's a fighter because she had to survive to make it through what she got through. And so when you see yourself coming up in a space that is dysfunctional or toxic, that's the little girl in you. And you have to have a conversation with her as the adult woman and say, hey, hold on, I got this. Okay, I got this. We're learning to thrive. And so teaching those beautiful young women how to thrive and not just survive being a teen mom and survive now being an adult. That right there has been another one of our biggest barriers working through.
That's wonderful. Having that trauma healing. And I had to heal my inner child, and it's a constant evolution, right? It never stops. Something you have to keep doing. And being that you are providing tools, we all need tools to get through and cope and deal with triggers and deal with trauma. So amazing work. When does season 2 come out?
So season 2 premieres January 3rd on MTV. Okay. And every single Tuesday we have 8 full episodes, and we have our 9th episode, which is our reunion. And I mean, I'm not just saying it because obviously, I'm the coach, the doc on the show. It is drama, and healing. And these moms and these teen moms are having breakthroughs that they have never, ever experienced.
It's a chance. It's a chance, and a really beautiful work. And thank you for sharing the message, because we don't know about teen moms. We don't know what happens behind the scenes and what really comes out of it. So that's why I really wanted to peel back the layers and get to where the healing and the difference that you're making comes from. So thank you so much for coming on Wake Up with Marci.
You got it, Marci. I appreciate it. And keep using your platform to do what you do. We need folks like you as well. And thank you for understanding the message and allowing me to give that and share that with all of your guests. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're a beautiful soul. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.